today to talk to you about a pair of reproduction World War II suits that I had just bought recently from a company called All Heels on Duty. So I had some leftover Valentine's Day money and I wanted to have a treat yourself moment, and since I am a huge Outlander fan, a huge historical costuming fan, I love American Duchess shoes. And I have been eyeing their 1940s reproduction Claire Oxford shoes for a long time. And so when I went to go treat myself and finally splurge, because let's face it, American Duchess shoes are not cheap. When I went to go finally splurge on these Claire Oxford shoes, they were out of stock. And I didn't know if they were going to restock these shoes or not, so I started a new quest of finding some other World War II brown Oxford shoes. Now, if you are an Outlander fan, the shoes that she wears when she goes through the stones are not Oxfords, they're clog type shoes. And you kind of see the clog type shoes when she's running through the forest in the opening credits. But Claire was also a World War II active duty nurse, and although she was not American, obviously she's English, during World War II, she could have worn some service shoes like the ones that I eventually bought. So after several hours of searching, trying to figure out keywords on how to find 1940s World War II era service shoes, I've stumbled upon another shoe company called All Heels on Duty, which specializes in reproduction service shoes, mainly women service shoes of the era. They have lots of different colored Oxfords of the era, as well as a couple of cool pumps. I was looking for a pair of shoes that matched my Outlander belt that I had ordered earlier, which is like a lighter Spanish brown, although I really wanted the Marine Corps shoes, but those are a little darker brown because if you guys didn't know, we are a veteran family. I was a Marine Corps spouse for 10 years through the Iraqi and the Afghanistan war. I lived through wartime as a spouse. I also lived in World War II original housing that they had for families back in World War II when I lived in Camp Lejeune. A lot has not changed with the military community now, especially now wartime, even though we're not in wartime. But when I was a military spouse and it was wartime, and I was living in a World War II house, and I was doing the things that my foremothers did back in World War II, like garden parties and teas and drives and all of the things. I felt very close to that era. And although I am right now creating a 18th century inspired, which actually is like a Revolutionary War, so that's another military spouse inspired ensemble. Eventually one day I do want to grow a vintage 1940s look, because I think that would be really fun. I've always been drawn to World War II era because of my military spouse background. Okay, enough rambling. We are here to look at some shoes. So the price difference between these Oxfords and the ones that American Duchess sells, which, no joke, my friends, not 2 weeks after I ordered my All Heels on Duty Oxfords, I got a promotional email from American Duchess saying that they are taking pre-orders for a upstock or a restock of their Claires. And I'm like, if I have only waited. And I'll talk about some pros and cons of the All Heels on Duty's shoes and American Duchess shoes. Like I said before, I have 3 American Duchess shoes so far. Do I have 3? I do have 3. I have a pair of 18th century. I couldn't resist. I had to get the blue Bernadettes. And I got a steal of a sale on their red Regency Emma boots. So I have 3. I know that a lot of people have said that American Duchess shoes run small. I wear a US size 9, and I don't have any fit issues with the shoes that I have gotten from American Duchess so far. I do not have a wide foot. I have long skinny toes. All of the size 9s that I have gotten from American Duchess have been comfortable straight out of the box. So in the price difference, okay, let's look at the price difference. The American Duchess shoes, the Claires, are $190 compared to my All Heels on Duty shoes that were $165. That does not include tax, that does not include shipping. So that there is about a 30 difference. There are a couple of different design differences as well. But from as far as I can see, both of them are leather, both of them have leather soles. There are more air holes. I don't know if that's what the dotty thingies are on. There are more air holes in the Claire shoes than they are in the World War II service reproduction shoes I got from All Heels on Duty. Okay, so do y'all want to see my shoes? You guys have probably already seen these shoes. Ugh. You probably have already seen these shoes a couple times in a couple of videos worn, and I liked them a lot straight out of the box. The problem was, though, when I received them and I put them on, they were too tight. They were too tight in the width area as well as the toe area. But I am very impatient, and they come with a card. Actually, they come with a little card telling you how to care for the shoes and to expect a break-in time, especially for leather shoes. The reason why I splurged and am starting to buy leather, well-made, even more expensive shoes, because these shoes will last me if I take very good care of them. I also know that leather does form and mold to the wearer's feet as long as you have a good break-in time. So I got these the day before a family event, I think. Maybe Easter, maybe Mother's Day. I forget. But they were too tight, but I didn't want to send them back. I could have easily just packed them back in the box and sent them back and ordered a size 10. However, I told you guys I am very impatient and I wanted to wear these shoes now. So I decided to try to speed up the breaking in period. So I thought at first, okay, well they're a little tight, so I'll just put in athletic socks. So I put on athletic socks. I wore them for the rest of the day while I did stuff around the house. And I was like, okay, this will be easy. It'll expand the leather a little bit and I can wear my shoes tomorrow. Well, my feet started going numb because they were that tight. So they did stretch out a little bit, but not enough for me to wear them comfortably the next day. And again, I probably should have traded them, but I'm stubborn. So I looked up to see how to stretch leather shoes, and I had a couple of things that I could have done. I could have taken these shoes to a professional cobbler and had them professionally stretch. Again, that's more time, more money, and I am impatient. There are other tricks that you could do, like putting on a wet sock, wearing them underneath a hairdryer or whatnot. These guys were expensive, so I wasn't about to try to do anything that would, with wetness. I didn't want to ruin the leather on this. So I headed over to Amazon and I got a pair of shoe stretcher cobbler guy. I don't even know what they're called. A lot of options on Amazon for shoe stretchers. I landed on these because these were inexpensive and they came with different accessories. When I purchased these were $25. I'll link the link down below. And I think these did what they needed to do, and they were cheap and inexpensive. They do come with this handy dandy bag. They do come with a shoe horn. I do recommend when you put your expensive leather shoes on and off that you do use a shoe horn so you're not stretching out the heel of your shoe over time. This cobbler thing comes with a couple of not pads. I don't even know what these are called. They come with these little bumpy things that push out the leather when you expand it. So the way that these work is that you decide what you need to stretch. They come with 8 of these, I don't know if they're bunion thingies, whatever, but they basically go into these little notches. And then after you figure out where you want it to be expanded, they even come with a stretcher as well if you wanted to put that on top of your shoe. I didn't need this. I mainly needed it for the width of my feet and more room in the toe area. So after you put what you think you need on, you slip this in your leather shoe, you adjust it where it fits snugly, and then you start turning this dial. As you turn this dial, it will expand this part inside the shoe, pushing the shoe leather out, and it'll stretch it. You do hold it for over time. The instructions on these say to keep these shoe things, I don't even know what they're called, these things in your shoe for 24 hours, take them out, try them on, and see if they need adjusting. So yeah, so right out of the box, these were really tight. I could put them on without socks, but I know I wanted to wear these with socks, so when I put them on with socks, they were too tight. Like my feet started going numb. So I did spend time and stretch these shoes, and I think I got them to the point where they are comfortable, but I do think I need to wear these shoes more often to get them broken in even more to my feet. So with socks, they're still a little bit tight. So I do know that shoe stretching does work if your shoe is a little tight. I didn't need anything in the length, so I am afraid if I did get like a size 10, it would be just too big in the toe area. So all in all, I like these shoes a lot. I like that they are reproductions of what the women really wore during World War II while they were active duty during that time frame. So in that nostalgia sense, since I am a military spouse, I think that is really good, and I like that connection with it. However, I didn't like that I had to spend more money on a shoe stretcher. I think that shoe stretcher is going to come in handy for other, as I add to my leather shoe quality collection. As I add to my shoe collection, I think that is going to come in handy, and it was only $25. If I go back and order more of these all heels on duty shoes, I think I will see if they have a half size. Maybe I would order 9.5, or I might even try a 10. But like I said, I'm afraid if I get a 10 that it would be too long in the length. If I was not as impatient, I would have definitely just sent these shoes back and exchanged them for a higher size. However, if I had the option today, like if I were looking for some cute brown Oxfords today, and if American Duchess had their Claire Oxfords on stock, I probably would have still just paid for those Claire Oxfords, because I know that American Duchess shoes fit me. Is it worth an extra 30 bucks? I mean, I don't know. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll get the Claire Oxfords one day if I'm going to spend that much more money and see really the difference. These all heels on duty shoes are very, very nicely well made. It's all leather interior, exterior, leather soles. They have a very well made heel. I do think that if I take care of these very well and spend the time and take care of the leather, I think these for real will service me for a very long time. The heel is very comfortable. So if you are doing World War II American looks, I think if you want the reproduction service shoes that they wore, I think these are a good option. Just note that you may need to order a size up, or be prepared. If you have an event, be prepared to order these early enough to either allow time for you to stretch the shoe out, or break them in, or exchange them for a different size. So all in all, I really like these shoes. They're comfortable. I see myself wearing them a lot, especially in the winter time and the fall time. I have not yet gotten a shoe polish or waterproof this leather. So if you are experienced in waterproofing and taking care of leather shoes, let me know some things that I need to know down in the comments below, because like I said, I'm new. I have 3 really expensive leather shoes. No, now 4, since I have these American Duchess and all heels on duty that I have not done anything to. Luckily, I have not worn them out a lot, but I feel like I'm gonna wear them more, and I need to make sure I take care of my investment, because these bad boys are not cheap, but they are lovely, aren't they? Okay, my friends, if you have 1940s looks that would go well with these types of shoes, let me know. I'm a newbie in the 1940s style, and I want to make some cute shoes. Not shoes. I'm gonna make some cute outfits that I could wear with these shoes. Let me know. Okay, my friends, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye. Woo!